ahead and start with Renee, since I kind of know Renee, and then we'll go ahead and bring you on Sylvia. Renee, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you actually got started in the travel industry?
I got started in the travel industry back in 1981. Okay. I've worked for all of the major corporate travel companies: American Express, Brentwood Travel, IBI Travel, the travel company, Carlson Wagon Travel, which is where we work. So got a few years in the industry, and travel is my passion, so I just enjoy it.
I so remember that about you. I think we worked together at Carlson Wagon Lit. That was maybe 2003, 2004.
3 to 5, and I was there up until 2008.
Okay.
13.
Okay.
Yeah, 2013.
Okay.
So about that time, Sylvia and I, Sylvia's the brains of the operation. I just execute.
But you know what? It's great to delegate. Sylvia, Clayborne, can you again welcome to the show?
Thank you much.
Would you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in the travel business?
Yes. It goes way back. It's part of the family, something that we enjoyed doing. When I was a little kid, you know, my mother made sure that we, you know, traveled and did a lot of exciting things as I was growing up. I worked for the convention center and gotten a 2-year degree in hospitality and tourism. Worked with AAA for a moment in terms of doing internship. And also with the government, worked in logistics. So a lot of that has helped me to do what we're doing today. I prayed hard to find someone, a partner who was as excited as I am about travel. And so that's where Renee came in, and it's been a blessing ever since.
I can imagine.
Listen to each other.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now,
before you go there, I have to just ask you guys this. When I sold real estate back in the 90s, I remember my broker discreetly calling me into his office because I was going to partner with one of the other sales agents there. And he said, I just want to caution you that when you pick a business partner, it's like picking a marriage partner. So be very careful. Okay. So do you guys find it to be true?
Oh yeah. Well, you're dealing with two very strong personalities. Okay, we're alpha females, and I'm not ashamed of being an alpha female. I need to get things done. Okay. So in that respect, we have the same vision and the same goals. Okay. What's good about our partnership is where I handle corporate travel and all of the major airline reservation systems.
Exactly.
That's my strong suit. Okay. Renegotiating, and I'm what they call a rate desk agent. When you travel and you are making changes to your airline tickets, I'm the person that uses the Pythagorean theorem to figure out how much money you're not going to pay. Okay. So now Sylvia, her talents she's just wonderful. You can give Sylvia, and she handles anything that's ground operated, logistics, all the way down to you tell her what color you want and step back. Because she's going to just amaze you with her creativeness. Okay, so at this point, we are even compatible on the zodiac. I'm Capricorn, she's Aquarius.
And that makes a big difference.
Exactly. So we're just happy to be here.
Okay, great. Now, it looks like according to the info that you gave me, your experience history, your past trips or programs have had a wide range of interests. You guys have done a Fairmont racetrack. You have a winery coming up, and we definitely want to talk about that because we're still looking for people. I think so, exactly, right.
That's going to be a good party.
Right, so we're going to definitely spend some time talking about that. A smooth jazz cruise. So when she told me about that, guys, the first thing I asked her was, have you did the Tom Joyner cruise?
Well, the Tom Joyner cruise is a wonderful cruise, okay, but it sells out so quickly.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so we need to start working on that.
And like 2 years before it actually happens.
Yes, before it actually happens. And that's one of the things in travel that people sometimes don't get. We are a date and time orientated business.
Time is of the essence.
And when they say that flight's leaving at 12:01, you need to be there at 11:30 or soon.
Okay. And now one thing about my show, guys, we keep it real here on Sunday Brunch. So we're going to talk about the issues that we have with our community about doing things in a timely manner, you know, and making sure that they learn how to get out here and experience the joys of life. I can't even begin to tell you how many people I know personally in St. Louis that have not stepped outside St. Louis, Missouri. They very seldom even go across the river. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, right.
And it's so much to see. I mean, when you get out of town, or even the country, and you meet so many dynamic people and a way of life that they have, and sometimes how they survive.
Right.
And so it's just so amazing. It just expands your horizons, your thought process. You feel like cleansed. You feel refreshed.
Right.
And, you know, and you come on back to the,
you really get a chance, too, to see that everybody is really the same.
Exactly.
Okay, whether the color of the skin is important, okay, and it does affect us here in America. But my honest opinion is once you step outside of America, you will come back with an appreciation for it in some respects. And in other respects, you're going to find out that you ain't getting all what you thought you was getting. Exactly. Exactly. So that's the thing. So what we're trying to do here, first of all, as everyone can tell, we're minority owned and operated. Okay.
And women owned.
And women owned.
Right.
Okay. We have the experience, the knowledge, and the technology to give our travelers what they want.
Exactly.
Okay. And please let us know what your budget is.
Right.
Okay. Because everything is formatted to your needs.
Right. Okay, so if you don't mind, what we'll do is we get through the interview. I have some things that we're going to kind of talk about an African trip, and so that way you can kind of use me as an example for what you would say if I come to you guys and say, I'm actually trying to get a tour together that Ferguson USA HotTalkRadio.com will actually sponsor or host, and I want to use you ladies to try to do that. And so that's one of the things that we'll talk about, because again, if you don't travel, and unfortunately another thing our community is not really good about is breathing, you might not know what the restrictions are. What is it that you need in order to travel? So we definitely want to talk about that. Okay. Now, I do have a question for you, so you guys just decide which one you want to. Who wants to answer?
Can I also say
Sure.
that for the audience, if they'd like to take get their pens and papers out and take notes, because once we get into question and answers or whatever, that we do, that they can take down the information.
Right. And I also want to remind you guys that we are going to have the phone lines are going to be open. So if you have a question for Renee or for Sylvia, you give us a buzz at 314-388-9622. We'd love to, we've got a couple of people that have already joined in. Hi, Andy Cooper. Hi, Helen Bradley Hall. She's one of my authors that interviewed on my Author Chat show. So again, if you have a question about travel, and listen, you don't have to be in the St. Louis area to ask questions. And also remember, these guys are international agents. So even if you're listening to this from Pennsylvania, okay, because we actually did an interview with the lady from the golf tour thing, the lady that was on the golf tour. But if somebody's listening even from Philadelphia and you want to know how you can plan a trip, this is the person, these are the people that you need to talk to.
Lynda, we do trips for anyone, anywhere in the world, and soon to be Mars. When they start having service to Mars, we're going to be one of the premier agencies that you're going to want to come to help you make that trip safely.
Right. Well, you make sure you contact that Trump administration since he wants to do the space.
We can't take the space. We don't have time. We don't have time for him to act like that. No. I said I wasn't going to call him. Anyway, go on to the next one.
Oh, my goodness. Right. All right. So my first question to you ladies would be, with the internet being so popular, and this is a great question, what are the benefits of using a travel agent or a travel counselor?
Well, I'll take that one. Okay. So the internet has opened up a wide variety of information to everyone. It can be a useful tool, but what I caution everyone to do, because here's where a travel agent comes in and really, really works for you. Okay. When you go on the internet, I'll use Frontier Airlines as an example. Frontier Airlines may offer a fare $178. It's not until you get into the end of that, okay, that you find out that there are bag fees. Spirit Airlines, they have actually 2 different compartments on their aircraft. The first 25 or 30 seats allow you to have access to the overhead compartment to put that extra bag up there. Okay, but you pay for that now. That's an additional fee.
Ooh,
you cannot put that right. You cannot put anything under the seat in front of you. Now, everyone that's in the back of the aircraft that did not pay that baggage fee, those compartments up there are locked down, so you can't use.
You're paying for seats,
so
and also pre-boarding, and so there are a lot of hidden fees until you get, like Renee said, in the back of that website. Then you're not going to see all that.
Exactly. And if you're new to traveling, you're really going to be lost if you try to do it online, thinking that you're doing everything. And even using sites like a Travelocity or Expedia, they're not going to really give you the information that you need. What do you think, ladies?
Okay, so once again, they're good tools. Okay, I'll even bring Airbnb into the situation. Okay. Airbnb does offer some good rates. People have been happy with their properties, but there have been incidents with their properties. Now, because we're people of color, when I say incidents, yes, somebody was pulled over. Okay, recently, I think that may have been in Philadelphia or Atlanta somewhere.
With Bob Marley's granddaughter?
Bob Marley's granddaughter.
California.
Right, it was California, and they
were going to Coachella.
Right, so that can happen at any major hotel, airport. It's America.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now you had a couple here recently, didn't you, that had some problems when they went to the Mediterranean?
Oh no, that all they needed me to do on that one was something simple. See that, but again, here's where your travel agent comes in handy. When our clients are on a trip, and if they encounter anything on that trip, say like I had a customer yesterday got to the car rental counter, and she actually went to the wrong car rental counter. Okay, but she picked up the phone to call me.
Right.
I was there to let her know, hey, no, go in the opposite direction. Okay. Also, if you've got any flight delays, all of that information comes to us, and we monitor and watch it. If you need assistance with wheelchair assistance, any of that, I know when I talk to the airlines, I know exactly where to tell them put that in that reservation, so that they can't say that they missed it. Okay, so that's where travel agents come in.
And I'm a witness that that's exactly what Renee's area of specialty is, because we work for the emergency services.
That's right.
And we were after hours. I never will forget, and I just have to tell the story. I think I just told it on my new little job. I just started a little part-time job, just to show you the craziness of people. And again, this is why you need a travel agent. Remember the blackouts that we had in 2006? Because I was at the travel agency then. And so Missouri had blackouts, New York had blackouts. And at that time, I think all the airports were blacked out. Had a guy that worked at JP Morgan Chase.
Jamie, done.
It probably was.
I've actually talked to him.
Oh, okay. Because these are the companies, these are the type of people that we talk to. Well, this guy got upset with me because he could not get on a plane out of any of the airports in New York because they were shut down because they had a blackout in the city. And so he goes, I can't get out of LaGuardia. No. What about Kennedy? No. Ma'am, Newark? Sir, what part of blackout do y'all not understand? You know what I'm saying? You know what he told me? I just don't think you want to do your job. Where's your supervisor? Hold on, let me get her for you. I can't believe you did that job for as long as you did. The people got on my last nerve. See, that was not my area of expertise. I'd be like, patience. I just enjoy it so much. Now, it doesn't say that I don't get frustrated when I'm trying to explain something or trying to get a point across to a client. Sometimes, and I'm guilty of over talking people. So, but my intention is to give you as much information as you can in order to function and let me get my job done. So when we have with a travel agent, when we have clients that are somewhere and they're stranded in another country, okay, because I've had people that have that. Blackouts. Air France is very good about organizing when they're going to have a walkout. They let them know 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 months and a half on the 19th of December, we're gonna have a walkout. Okay, now that's the rest of the public
doesn't realize Air France is part of Delta. Okay, when the airports are shut down, that affects the entire U.S. system.
Right. You might be flying international, but that'll affect your domestic flight as well.
Right. Okay. When there's
point A to B.
well, so Cindy and I both.
Wow.
Get that.
So that's why, just like Renee said, this is why you really want to use a travel agent. All right. Now, so how far ahead should you plan a trip, Sylvia?
It's really based on what type of trip you're doing. If you're doing maybe a destination wedding, or you're going to multiple locations, you might want to start at least a year in advance. It may sound extreme, but there are a lot of details that go with planning that type of trip. If you just want, you're flying, let's say on the East Coast or wherever, nationwide, then possibly 60 days to 45 days out, you want to set up your airfare. Even though, airfares may change continuously. Right. But it's always good to start ahead. Right. As much as you can. If you're doing maybe a cruise package or things of that nature, a year or so in advance is definitely good. Absolutely. Because sometimes you can lock into a better rate, and possibly even the rates that they have presently. And so if it's a year out for 2018, you might be able to get 2017 rates. Absolutely. So it's just good, to plan that out. And also the advantage to that is in some cases, you might be able to pay a little bit at a time. So, if you're on a budget, that comes in handy as well.
Right. That's something else that our counterparts know about travel that we don't exercise. Right. When you go to a travel agency, you have that option of setting it up on time payments if you start out early enough. So our white counterparts, when they're taking trips to Europe, they start out a year, 2 years ahead of time. And I know because I booked it for them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so you have the ability to travel and see the world. And why would you not want to see God's planet?
But I'm glad you asked that, because you just segued right into my next question. I believe a lot of it is, and you guys can just tell me what your experience has been, and I'm going to give you an example. My mother is a prime example. When I started with TWA, my younger brother had just moved down to West Palm Beach, Florida, still down there. My younger sister had moved out to LA. So I got home after they were like, okay, we hired you, you're in. I had passed all the tests. So I said, okay, guess what? Now I'm putting you on my travel benefits. You can fly whenever you want to. You know what she looked at me and she said, I ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. You don't know damn plane. Like, seriously? So that's a stigma that we kind of deal with. And do you guys run into that a lot? The look on your face was priceless, Renee. But let's talk about this because
I'm sorry. I have part of the story.
Okay, so I want to hear.
When you're trying to project your business and you want people to know what you're doing, you want them to be excited about it. It can be very discouraging when someone tells me, "I ain't going there. I'm sorry. I ain't going out the country. I ain't going out the country." Now, here's the thing: you're missing out on God's plan. Number one, and it's beautiful, wonderful. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, you cannot replace what you see with your eyes. Television does it no justice. Even a picture, the food, the people, the smells. Okay, and there are good smells, there are bad smells. There's more good. The excitement of being able to just do everything you want. So you definitely want, and in most cases, sometimes travel agents are well-traveled people. Sometimes they're not, because people get the impression that we travel all the time, but we don't. Okay, but when we do get a chance to travel well. Right. Exactly. Okay, so what we can do, but we have to work for that really hard in order to get it. Okay. So it's kind of frustrating when you see people that won't allow their imaginations to stretch. Okay.
And why is it that our community is so good at not allowing that imagination to stretch? That I see that so often. I mean, because when I started, all right, now I'm not going to try to keep us political, because I get real political on this show, but with everything that we see that's going on in our community with the police and everything, I've been saying, my question of the day is it time for blacks to leave America?
Now, Marcus Garvey, you go back in your history. Okay, don't start. Okay, he did have a point.
Yes, he did.
And Liberia.
Liberia
Right.
Yes.
Is Marcus Garvey.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we as a people, we know where we come from.
Well, some of us do.
Well, we need to get back to that. We've lost one of the worst things that I found about America in one of the results of slavery is that our languages were taken away from us. And when I travel, I am just fascinated with the people that have the ability to speak 5 or 6 different languages,
Right.
different dialogues. Okay, and I remember when we were in the office, everybody used to tease me because I would pick up the dialogue of because we talk to people from all around the world.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay,
and it's not that hard. It's a wonderful thing to travel.
Right. So with that being said, because you're right, love to hear somebody with a different dialect get on there, start to, especially if you've got one of those Russians or Idris Elba type dialect. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But now you've got the type of culture here where you had a woman that was in the Wyoming area with her daughter or something, and they were American, but of Hispanic descent. So they were talking to each other in Spanish when a Border Patrol agent heard them and immediately went over to them and made them show him their passport.
Okay, now,
what is going on with that?
Okay, now, good segue. Okay, very good segue, because here's something that most Americans don't realize.
Okay.
You need to get your passport.
Thank you.
Your passport is the only legal document that says that you are a U.S. citizen.
Exactly.
Not your birth certificate. Your birth certificate, anybody can have a birth certificate.
Not your driver's license.
Not your driver's license.
Right.
Okay. Not a passport card.
Right.
A full passport.
Right.
Okay. Now, when you present that, when I go vote, I take my passport. Because that says, no, I don't care how long. And now, if you notice, they're coming up with a new thing now, where if you have not voted, because we tend to only vote every 4 years.
Right.
Okay. There is a new law on the books that the Republicans are pushing that says that if you have not voted in 2 or 3 years, or once a year or twice a year, you're going to lose your right to vote.
They're taking you off
the vote. That's part of the voter suppression.
Are we just changing the rules to set our?
Okay, anyway,
things are changing.
Wow.
So I just want your listeners to know.
Right.
Okay, so
and actually though, not only passports but also your driver's license
and also a visa,
because
some places
to get on the airplane in the future. Well, right now, in some states they've already made the changes that they need to make, TSA and all of that, homeland security, but from state to state, if you're going to fly from St. Louis to Chicago,
you need a passport.
Then you need a passport, or even your driver's license has to be up to code.
Even then, last time I traveled, your driver's license had to be valid, but you didn't need a passport.
Right, but
now you need a passport.
But Missouri was part of the. Remember when they had everybody trying to decide if they were going to go along with being part of the TSA, or I forget exactly what the proposition was.
Was that when you could do the whole full body scan, or just go through the whole?
Well, it was your identification.
Oh, okay.
Missouri was one of the 8 states that was included in saying that they didn't want to have any portions. They didn't want to be a part of the regular government that says that you're a U.S. citizen.
It's a real ID Act.
Yeah.
That the Congress had passed in 2005, and so based on to prevent identity fraud, they expect for every state to have their driver's license up to a certain code. And so at some point Missouri was falling behind in that, but they came up with a starting October the 1st, 2020, everyone in the United States has to be in compliance to your driver's license being,
it has to be valid.
Up to par. Yes.
Wow.
So not only your passport, but like we're saying, your passport, but also your driver's license.
Right. Get all your documents straightened out.
Yeah, right. Okay. Now, and I want to remind you guys because thanks to all the people, wow, we've got a lot of people on our chat today logging in. If you have a question, feel free to give us a call. The phone lines are open, 314-388-9622. If you're a little shy and you don't want to call in, always remember you can just go ahead and ask a question on the chat line. I'll be more than happy. I monitor that every time just to kind of make sure that we're on top of everything. Oh, here's Helen Bradley. So Helen, the call-in number is area code 314-388-9622. Use your cell phone. You should not incur any long distance charges. All right, so while we wait to see if she calls in, and guys, kind of keep your eyes on these two for me. I gotta get some. See this? These are my call-in lines here, and then that way I'll know that hey, somebody's actually calling in. All right, so my next question is, and that was a great answer for that one. How far should you plan ahead? So my next question is, do I pay more to have you book my trip as a travel agent? Either one. Okay.
No,
How does that work?
Okay, now here's how it works, gang. Here's how it works. We start off a year ahead planning your trip, or 6 months, or whatever that is.
Okay.
When you travel, the day after you travel, it still takes another 45 days for me to receive my commission or our commission. Now, the airline stopped paying a commission to travel agencies. So the only time a travel agent is paying a commission is when it's booked in a package. So it has to include air, hotel, possibly a car.
Okay.
Any packages that you want to do extra.
Okay.
So you're going to Venice and you want a gondola ride, or you're going down to Jamaica and you want, that's where we're paid.
Okay.
But we're not paid until up to 45 days after you have gotten back.
Wow.
And because we are paid on commission, the vendors such as Funjet, etc., they pay us for bringing the customers to them.
Right.
So, it doesn't directly come out of your pocket.
So your commission is paid on your package price.
Gotcha.
So if just 10% commission on $800 is $80. Okay, so sometimes depending on the type of package you have, it may have a 10% commission, 15% commission, 25% commission. Okay, but you're not paid that until after the traveler has traveled.
Okay.
Now, if that person cancels their trip along the way, that's a commission you never get.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right. Because you don't have to worry about sending it back. You'll just never get it.
You just never
because
get
of
it.
that 45-day turnaround.
And work that you put into it prior to, getting them ready, all the documents that they're gonna need, paperwork, talking to vendors, etc. The best, I learned over the years, the best remedy for that, Renee reminds me often that comes with a job, as well as that you're learning something new. Sometimes we pick up on things that we may not have been aware of, but because we're working that particular package that we've learned something.
And it's great to learn something new. If you're not learning something new every day, to me, I think there's something wrong.
That's really been the only way that I've really been able to stick it out in this industry.
I was a full-time real estate agent. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. Okay. So
you don't
know
you don't get paid. Right.
And that too. Okay. So when you're preparing your client, but the one thing that I absolutely enjoy about what I did, I just had a couple that got married and they went to Santorini, Greece, and I planned that whole trip for them. Okay, and now I'm like, can y'all send me some pictures or something? They had such a fabulous time. They ain't had time to even bother with me.
Oh dear. Speaking of that, now that would be great for your website. So when you do have people that travel and they actually come back, do they send you pictures and you just post it on your website?
We got some pictures of some trips that we posted, or trips that we've done. Okay, and yes, this client, I'm waiting for that client to get back to me because they just got back. They're in love. They ain't got time to miss me right now.
Well, we'll get that back. We'll get that picture in a while. But okay. Now this is a great one because this is going to segue right into what we were talking about, what I would like for you guys to help us with here. Now, and the question is, what type of vacation package offers the best features and what type of trip would you suggest to the first-time travelers? That's a great question.
It is. I would say cruises is probably your best package to start off with. Some people don't like the water, but when you're on those ships, you know, usually you don't feel that you're on water.
Yeah, you do.
Usually.
Right. I tell my experience, but don't
usually. But I mean, you know, most of the time, well, during my first trips, that didn't seem to be an issue for me. But I'm very daring, you know, so that didn't bother me. But anyway, I think you get your better, but you get a lot for your money.
Get more bang for your buck.
To do a cruise, because that gives you an opportunity to be exposed to good meals.
Right.
You have your accommodations already built into that. Everything is pretty much done for you, and so you're free to just enjoy yourself when you're going on various ports, the Bahamas or wherever you're going. Then it gives you an opportunity to see a variety of islands.
Exactly.
So you get a heck of a lot for what you're paying for in that package. So it's very much worth it. Think about it. If you had to, let's say, fly directly to Bahamas, fly directly to Turks and Caicos or wherever you're going, then that's going to be a lot more costly for you to do that. So this way, in a cruise, you can get a lot more for your money.
Okay, I want to stop you there and agree with you 100%. My first cruise, I worked for TWA, and you know, it was a group of us girls who worked with me at TWA. One of my friends, Miss Risha's on here listening to the call, so she should laugh about this. All right, so first cruise. We got really excited. As an airline employee, we were able to get great rates. We booked that through Perks.com. Remember that? Exactly. I think for a 3-day cruise into the Bahamas, we paid $150 per person. My bar bill was more expensive than what I paid for the cruise. They actually called me over the intercom. Lynda Brown, can you report to the Person Station? And I'm like, oh my God. And it's like, that guy I got paid today, my bar bill was $260. And see, that's my sister was drinking a Bahama. Mom was like, no, I really wasn't. I'm a very high tolerance. But those drinks are free to $8 a shot. Well, this was 2001. The drinks were fabulous. Because one would actually do it, but I ordered one for like every time I had
out of the sun.
every time.
Bring it to you. And I think when we went to Jamaica last year, when we were walking by, somebody had, what was the one that was the clown? They had names for each drink.
Okay.
Each drink had its own different name. So you might go blue and yellow.
Tyson.
Okay, and then you see the big piece of pineapple coming out with the umbrella.
They have it.
And that one over there is red. And okay, so that's just what you're supposed to do.
So now unless things have changed, I just want to clarify that they will still have to pay for their drinks, but all their food and everything.
Right now, so here's a clarification on cruising. Number one, when you're taking a cruise as a first-time traveler, it's a good sampler.
Yes.
Because what you want to do is you'll go eat. When you actually get off the ship, you're really not there more than 4 to 8 hours. Usually 4 hours on any particular stop.
Right.
So when you get to the Bahamas, Nassau, you get off the ship, you're there for 4 hours, you get a flavor of what's going on. Okay. Now you move on and you might cruise over to Freeport or cruise over to Aruba. Okay, but what most people don't realize is cruise ships only, I think it's less than 30 miles per hour. They travel less than 30 miles per hour.
Cruise. I mean, even though I knew I was on the water, it was still.
Right now, in reference to the stabilization of the ship, what I always tell people is they love their ship more than they love you. I'm sorry, but they do.
That's right.
They're not going to, and you, even though all of the cruise lines, all of the cruise lines have had issues, okay, when they have an issue, what's good about the cruise lines, and sometimes the airlines, because you got to know what to ask for, they will give you a discount on another cruise or refund all of your money because there was a terrible catastrophe on that cruise. Plus, they will give you a discount to try to bring you back. Okay, so the long story short, they're going to always try to bring you back in reference to the drinks. On the cruise ships now, you can have all the coffee, tea, and milk that you want. Okay. However,
Oh,
soda.
Right. You got to, they charge you for that.
They charge you for soda now. And the reason why that is, remember when everybody has the house party and you go back and you clean it up and somebody then left a whole can of soda open and never drank it.
Yeah. Or took one sip and it's sitting there.
Okay, they take one sip and they walk away from it. That caused the cruise lines to start charging for soda. Okay, now another thing, gentlemen, you need to get you an old-fashioned flask. Okay, you gotta go back. Old school. You cannot take your whole gallon of Crown Royal, which you can't do that. When you go through the ship and you've been through customs. First of all, the airport's gonna pull it. Okay. I don't care how you pack it down, wrap it up, they're gonna pull it up. Okay. When you get on the ship, they're gonna survey your bag. Okay. And then they're gonna pull you off to a side and say, Miss Brown, I'm sorry, but we're gonna package this up for you, and we're gonna and it'll be here when you come back, because they want you to buy their liquor while you're on the ship.
And that's what we would tell people. We actually would, as soon as we got on there and got our luggage and did the little the safety drill, we then went to the gift shop and we bought all our alcohol there and just stored it in our room. Because it's duty free. It's
duty free, but I think they made some cruise lines now will let you package your liquor and not let you take it to your room anymore.
Really?
Right. Okay, so it depends on the cruise lines. Okay, because once again, they want you to buy their liquor.
Absolutely.
Okay, also, since I get in trouble for this, can I talk about the pocketbooks?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Okay, we're going on with the pocketbooks. As you know, we got women listeners.
Okay, ladies, I'm sorry. I know that you have the perfect shoes, the perfect bag, the perfect hat. It looks gorgeous. You look absolutely gorgeous in it. And anybody that can wear them 6-inch high heel teeth, I wish I could. I can't do nothing with that. Okay. However, when you are traveling, now is when you really want to travel more of a casual dress. Take a very nice dress to wear, or a pair of pants that you can wear with multiple tops. Okay. Also, men and ladies, you want to make sure that you are carrying a book bag. Like the kids carry to school, a book bag. A book bag and a fanny pack are going to be your best two friends, because with your book bag, I put my music in there, I put my medicine in there, I put my ID or whatever is important to me that I need to get to is in the book bag. Okay. Then I got my fanny pack. Okay, that's my passport, my money, and that's close to my body. Okay. I have to take off all.
Because you're not going to leave that in your room.
No, you're not. I have to take off all my jewelry, and I have a silver fetish. I have a silver. It's a fetish.
She is straight, not tatted up, y'all. She's silvered up.
Okay, that's my thing.
And it's beautiful.
So I ain't got it all on. But anyway, the thing here is you got to be conscious of that when you're traveling. So
And for shoes, just take some comfortable things. Shoes, because when you're touring, you don't know how much walking you're gonna have to do. But take your nice high heel shoes, because if you're going from a cabin to dinner, it may not be that far away, and you can be comfortable going from one place to the other. So, but definitely include your most comfortable shoes.
One of the ladies that worked with us at TWA, at the reservation office, actually came into St. Louis from LA. She was actually a flight attendant. And then, of course, they did some downsizing, so she came to the res office. So shout out to Miss Janetta Cleveland. I know you're probably listening. But she told us something, because we all travel together, right? So she said, okay, this is how you have to travel. So this is why you don't have to pay all this money for extra for luggage and everything. And she said the exact same thing, lady. She said, get maybe 2 pairs of black pants, or a black pair, a white pair, and then a matching black and white shirt. And the same thing with the shoes, a black pair, a white pair, and just mix them up. She said, don't carry all that stuff with you. She showed us how to roll it up, so that way we didn't have to worry about it being all wrinkled. She was amazing.
And so on our website, we have a YouTube.
Oh, good.
For how to pack your bag.
Okay. Did you hear that? And give us again the website address.
The website address is www.theartoftravelstl.com. So it's The Art of Travel, STL.com. Be sure to put the STL there.
Okay. I was forgetting to put the D. I wasn't sure if that was part of it. Okay,
but that is part of the name.
Now, and I want to move on because we got about 15 minutes, but now you mentioned the cruise, which is a great idea for first-time travelers, but my favorite, even more so than the cruise, was my all-inclusive in Montego Bay, Jamaica.
Yes, that was in the
Talk to us about the all-inclusive. Tell us what, for those that have never had an all-inclusive, not familiar with the term, tell us what that includes.
Well, the all-inclusive means that you're getting an entire package, usually for, that one price. That includes your travel insurance. It includes your transportation, air. It includes your accommodations. It includes most of the food choices that they have.
Okay.
And also drinks.
Okay.
Now, sometimes if you're going, to certain resorts, there are certain drinks that are free. If you want more elaborate or premium drinks, then you're gonna pay a little bit more.
Exactly.
But it's really a good option. Beyond a cruise,
right?
All inclusive is a good choice.
And I know you ladies are definitely way more experienced than me with travel, but I highly recommend. And I don't know, like I said, when I went there in 2002, I believe it was, we did the all-inclusive at Montego Bay Holiday Inn Sunspring Resort.
Yes, and it's still at the property.
I know that
it's still at the property. They've done a lot of updates, but you've got so many other vendors in that market because you've got your whole Hilton hotel chain, Hyatt, Holiday Inn. I think Best Western, Half Moon Bay is privately owned, and you get so you get in Jamaica, you've got everything that you need to do. Okay. And you also, once after you do your all-inclusive, while you're there in Jamaica, one of the main things that you want to do is you need to go to Ultra Rios, which is in the middle of the island. So you hit Montego Bay, okay, and that's right there at the airport. Okay, the airport, Montego Bay in Kingston. Okay, so you hit Montego Bay, then you get transportation, shuttle, whatever, taxi cab driver, excursion up to Ultra Rios, and at Ultra Rios is Dunn's Rivers Falls. Okay. Now, what a lot of Americans don't know about Dunn's Rivers Falls is the reason why you're climbing that waterfall is because it brings you good luck.
Oh, well, we didn't do Ultra Rios. You know what? We took out how much?
The Negrillos. Okay, you got it. But see, the Negrillos.
Every time I went, I would go to the Negrillos.
Right.
Rick's Cafe.
Okay, you got to go there because you got to see everybody die off.
Absolutely.
Okay, and those are okay. I'm a good swimmer. Okay, but no, I'm not. I won't. But I love seeing me dive. Okay, then you got the food. So the thing here is there's really no place in the world that's not exciting when you're traveling there. Okay, now you may see some poverty. Right. Okay, but we're poverty here in America.
But can I say something though? I thank you for reminding me about that because that was a wake up call for me. Because I had heard so many great things about Jamaica. When we got there, now the first time we went, because I've been there like 13 times, because that's just how much I loved it. But the first time I went, they were still putting the roads into the grill. Yeah. And so we had a t-shirt. I made the road trip. I actually survived the road trip to the grill. Girl, it was cows and pigs. Just walking along with everybody else. So when we get there, my girl Felicia, she and I shared a room together, right? So I'm all excited because I want to try something, Caribbean. I'm here. So we had a great resort. We stayed at Coral Sea. So if you ever in the grill, go to Coral Seas. Tell them the TWA girl sent you. All right, so I ordered the red pan-fried snapper. It was good, had the little vegetable. It was so good. My girlfriend, this half would go all the way to Jamaica. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Ordered a hamburger and french fries. I say, we just passed your meal on the way up here, right? I just couldn't believe she did that. But it was a wake-up call that you really are in a third world country.
Well, you know what? Sometimes I'm thinking America is a third world country. Sometimes when they do things, but when I'm traveling like that, I have to have conch fritters. I have to have plantain.
Uh-huh.
I learned how to cook Jamaican.
Oh, okay.
I learned how to cook Nigerian. I like foods from all over the world. And anybody that's looking at the camera, you can see I'm a full-figured girl.
So see you then if you're looking for somebody to replace Anthony Bourdain. We have thank you, Renee Garr-Jackson and Sylvia available.
Because if we on a desert island, right, okay, and ain't nothing to eat, be careful because I cook. And I do know how to make some real good sauces. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to stay in here.
All right, well, we've got about 10 minutes, so one of the things that nobody called in.
Okay, well,
so if anybody wants to call in, again, we're at Ferguson, USA, High Talk Radio. But I hate to say normally, we definitely want to talk about that. You know what, let's get ready to do that now. But if you have any questions, and if you have a question now about what we're going to talk about, the call-in number is 314-388-9622. I'm hoping that the phone lines are open, but if not, I do have my cell phone on. So if you call me at, I'm not giving my phone number out. So just hit us up on the chat number, on the chat line on Facebook. So,
so here's what we're doing locally.
Okay, talk to me.
Okay,
so
because we got a lot of things to do. Okay, so all right. Saturday the 11th of August, we're going to Cedar Lake Winery. And at the winery, it's going to start about 2 o'clock, from 2 until about 8 p.m. It's probably going to run a little bit longer. Okay. We've got dancing, we've got an entertainment. Rhoda G, who is one of the local saxophonists and a popular person right now, is going to be performing. Okay, the event is $55. We offer shuttle. So you're going to meet at the Hanley Metrolink station. Okay. You're going to get on the old school bus. We're going to run a continuous show with air. Okay. And then we're going to run a continuous shuttle. You're going to be able to go out to the winery, do some wine tasting if you choose. There's a very good full service restaurant there. There's walk-up windows if you don't want to sit down to the restaurant. You'll have access to the total grounds. Okay.
Sandwiches. So there's another eatery where you can get sandwiches and some light stuff. But the restaurant is just fabulous. Also, you have exposure to whatever band that the property may have available. So you can kind of roam around, sit, and listen to
that. And exactly what winery is it that you're going to be at?
It's the Cedar Lake Winery.
And where's that located?
That's in the Wright City.
Oh, right. Oh, my goodness. I got family members in Wright City.
Absolutely. Not far. But our main objective in having the shuttle is just for your safety.
Right. Next time you guys go to Wright City, can you stop at Ball's Barbecue? Find a Ball Barbecue. That's where barbecue joint. That's where barbecue joint. Yeah.
Absolutely. People are getting into their own business. Well, doing things.
They always say that you're only 6 removed.
Thank you.
And St. Louis is a very small location.
It's more like 3 removed, isn't it?
It is more like 3 removed.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So now let me ask you about this, because this sounds like something I'm going to have to check my schedule, because like I said, this little part-time job I just picked up. I have to work Saturdays, so I have to see what they haven't set the schedules yet. But what age group would be appropriate for this?
21 and older. Okay, you got to be 21 or older. Okay, but now we set this party up so that it appeals basically to all age groups. Okay, but it's going to be more of an adult crowd. Okay, because I think we kind of we got an old school crowd. We're gonna play some R&B music. We're gonna play a variety of music. There's gonna if you want to dancing. So Miss Sylvia playing this event.
I really want to.
So this is our thing. I'm gonna let her talk.
When we first went to tour, a lot of times as travel agents, we get a chance to tour different venues just to see get the feel of how they're set up and everything. And so when we went to this particular one, Cedar Lake, we just kind of fell in love with it. And the first time you hit the parking lot, it looks a little country, whatever. But then as you begin to look and roam around, it's a fascinating property. They got a lot of little venues that you can go and sit in and listen to music. They built a new facility there that has air conditioning, so you know you can still hear the band and be a part of everything and be in air conditioning. So, but we're having a private party in addition to all of that. We're having a private party in the loft, and the loft is a wonderful hidden place. We just fell in love with it. It looks country, but it's funky. It's sharp. It's just
so when you think of the loft, the image that I want everybody to think of is remembering the color purple when Miss Silly and everybody is at the club before the fight starts. Remember when the fight started? Okay. The loft is just that kind of just we gonna Wayne Dang Doodle kind of environment.
Oh, right.
When it's a Wayne Dang Doodle, you know, it make you want to get out on the dance floor. There's enough space, okay, for you to get out there and you know you can do the what's that? The four corners. Let's see, that's
you can do whatever you want. Line dance.
I'm say like line dance.
Okay, I'm talking about the four corners.
You can do whatever.
But now, okay, so this gets a segue going into one of the things that I have been talking about, like I mentioned earlier on Sunday Brunch, with all the craziness that's been going on in the United States of America. I want to do a trip to Africa. I truly believe that everybody
we started the process already.
We're going to talk about that. Yeah.
Okay, so now here's what we're doing for Africa.
Okay.
Africa 2019, we're going to be going to Ghana and Senegal. That's our game plan. Okay. We'll see Gorée Island. We'll go into Africa. Accra. And Dakar.
Oh, and they have another one called Kasami or something like that.
Right.
It's close to Accra.
Okay, so what we're going to be doing, we'll be going between the months of October and April. Okay. So keep an eye on
2019.
Right, 2019. Right. Okay. We haven't chosen the exact travel budget yet. This is going to be a package that is an all-inclusive package. Right. People will be able to feed into the package because you don't have to leave just from St. Louis. Right. You'll be able to leave from any gateway city. Exactly. Okay, or because in our travels, we've met clients as far away as London. I got people that Helsinki. So the long story short is this trip to Africa is going to be 10 to 12 days. Okay. It will include everything in reference to the pricing, because I know everybody's saying, in reference to the pricing.
But we're giving you a whole year to
right. You're going to have a whole year. Have a whole year to pay this off. But on the average, it's going to be anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000, and that's because when we get into Africa, we're going to have escorted tours. This is going to include your meals. This is going to include your hotels, transportation, because we have to fly from Ghana to Senegal.
Exactly.
Okay, that's not in St. Louis.
Exactly.
Okay, it's not in St. Louis.
Now, you know they actually have China down there. Now, just to show you how they know what the resources are down there. China has actually started coming in there. They're the new colonizers. But one thing I can say about China from the research that I've done is that they're not just trying to go in there and get the resources and just leave the people indigent. They're in there, okay, let's do some highways, some roadways. They're really trying to help the people. And I really believe it, and this just might be me, but I'm a firm believer that with everything that's going on, you guys are familiar with the 400-year prophecy. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. We came over here as slaves in 1619. We were supposed to, according to Genesis, be in slavery on that second Exodus out of Egypt for 400 years. 1619, 2019 would bring us to that 400-year date.
Yeah.
Now we just had the Black Panther being done. Now they've always done. As an author, come on now. Hello, I started 3 times, guys. Okay. But listen, as an author, we were always told if you try to go through a traditional publisher, oh well, you know, there's no market for that. People got. He just smashed all that out, didn't he? Right. Okay. Then you've got all the other stuff that's going on. Look at Hawaii. With all these hurricanes, you know how many earthquakes they've had along with that volcano?
Right, but erupting. So with all of that, we could talk for hours about how that, because that gets into the fracking, that gets into everything that you're abusing the earth. Okay, there's a reason why all of that is happening. What we need to do, and we're hoping that everyone will give us their support. Okay, when you are traveling, wherever you're going, give us a call.
Right.
We have the tools, okay, and it is our desire to become one of the premier travel corporations here, not only here in the St. Louis area, but worldwide.
Exactly.
Okay, so you have companies like, a lot of people don't know Worldwide Technologies.
Right.
Okay, they don't know that's a Black-owned company right here in St. Louis. Okay, and I can't wait to do Mr. David's travel. I can't wait. I want. Okay, Mr. David, if you listen, I want to do your travel. Okay, so
don't hold your breath.
Well, no, I'm okay moving on because we're on a mission.
Okay, so but you know what, you have to be, because the lady that I referred you to when we were beginning to talk about this, that's how she started out, and then she built her business by dealing with a lot of government contracts.
Yes,
and
we're working on our certifications now.
And you want to do that because Ghana is blowing.
Now we got another trip to tell you
about.
about.
Go ahead. Okay. You know what, lady, we can go past that too. So
okay. Okay, so now this next trip, this one's going to the Smithsonian National History of Black, I call it the Black History. I mean, anyway, the title is the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture. That took me so long to get that. Okay, now, this is in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Okay, so we've done this trip four times. We're going to be hosting the Homer G. Phillips Nurses Association on this next trip. They're going to go the 24th of October through the 30th of October. Okay. It's 6 days and 5 nights. So I'll let Miss Sylvia finish telling you about that.
Okay.
Did you need to hold this to see it?
No, I'm okay. Will be our pickup will be at the Hanley Metrolink. Okay. It's at Highway 70 and near the airport, and we'll be leaving that Wednesday night. But we won't have an overnight hotel, and some people get a little leery about that. But the time frame in which we leave that evening to nighttime, most of the people are resting and they're sleeping. Right. And so by the time they wake up, and we will have several stops between that. Okay. But the time that they really get up and they from their rest, then we'll have breakfast. And then after breakfast, then a couple of hours later, we're where we need to be. Okay. So, and then everybody can relax the first night, and then we go to the Smithsonian the next day, and we have other surprises and things that we want to do for the people.
Now, how are you? Is that a flight in?
No, we're gonna go by bus.
Okay. Are you going through the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee?
Yes,
you know why I asked? Because in the 7th grade, I took that trip. Yeah, Maplewood, Richmond Heights, Junior Heights.
I think on this particular round, so it'll be a 56 passenger bus, fully equipped. Okay. Okay. We're gonna stop probably at Louisville, Kentucky. Okay. And we'll have a change of drivers there. Okay. So there is a change of drivers. A driver cannot drive more than 8 hours, a maximum 10 hours. Okay. And we do everything according to the book. Wonderful. Okay, so that's according to the book. Okay. As Sylvia, we're gonna wake up in West Virginia. Okay. We're gonna stop at West Virginia and we're gonna go. Breakfast is gonna be at the Golden Corral. Okay. Okay, because they give us, you can pick whatever you want. Okay. Okay. Well, if you're a grits person in the morning, if you just need a bowl of grits, we're gonna do that. Then you're gonna pull yourself together, give everybody time to stretch their legs, have their morning constitution. We're gonna get by that time because we're in West Virginia. Right. Then when we arrive in Virginia, we're staying at the Embassy Suites. Oh, nice. Okay, now Embassy Suites, Lynda, you and I both. That's where I start off anytime I'm taking a trip. I know that's okay because I have to have my full cooked order breakfast. That gets me through the day, and I'm a nice person after I eat. Okay. So, and then when we go into the museum, we'll be in the museum Friday the 26th of October from 10 o'clock in the morning to about 5:30. The museum closes at 5:30. Okay. There is a restaurant there at the museum. It can be pricey, but the food for restaurant food, it's the restaurant food. But you will have just had a full breakfast, right? So you didn't really need to buy all that stuff that you see in there because you're not gonna be that hungry, right? Okay. For those who have problems with walking, we have scooters. So we have a scooter company that delivers the scooters to the hotel. No. We put the scooters up under the bus, and the scooters stay with you for the entire trip. Now that's an additional $200. So the pricing on this trip, okay, It runs, Sylvia will tell you the price.
Double occupancy, $795 per person. Triple is $680 per person. Quads is $620. And if you're going a single person, you're gonna pay more. So that's $1,142.
Okay. And how many days is the trip?
Six.
Yeah, 6 days, 5 nights.
Okay.
Okay, it's gonna be a $100 deposit if you're serious about taking this trip.
And what are the dates again?
The dates are the 20th.
October 24th through the 30th.
Okay.
And so we need a deposit as soon as we can get that.
If you ladies would email me that, I'll make sure we put it right on the
Sure, absolutely.
and tweet it as well.
And for any of our trips, Lynda, if they go to the www.theartoftravelstl.com, that information is there. Okay. We also have a cruise for those. We got the East St. Louis Flyers are doing an 8-day cruise, the 13th of October through the 21st of October, and they'll see Aruba, Curacao.
I know that's right.
And
Turks and Caicos, Princess Cays, the private island will be there, and I think that's pretty much it.
Right, and but what we want people to really understand about what we do is we do corporate travel. Right. We do personal travel. We do groups,
nonprofits,
and with your nonprofits, Sylvia can go on and tell you about that. Because a lot of nonprofits don't know that they can make money by doing a trip.
Something different. A lot of times, especially churches, they have projects that they want to do.
Right.
And so they do the regular traditional kind of things, but you can use travel as a means of making money, especially with the cruise and Quantum, especially. Based on how many days and how many cabins that you have, you can make thousands and thousands of dollars.
Is that something?
Now, another thing that people don't realize about using a travel agent, we're a travel management company. So when you put your group together, we take care of keeping the group informed.
Right.
We take care of making sure the payments. We have an accounting system where we send you out invoices. So when we're talking to our clients, they have the office phone number that rings both into Sylvia and I's phone, and that's 844-200-5433. Okay, so you can leave your questions there. You can go to info@theartoftravelstl.com, and you can leave a message or questions there. When we're traveling with our groups, we have everyone in our cell phones because we need to send you out a message to tell everybody, I need you down at the front door in the next 15 minutes. We want so that everybody is boarding the buses and everything correctly. While we're in Washington, D.C., we'll also take a look at the monuments. We've got shopping planned. We've got, we're going to visit some of the more popular favorite restaurants like Ben's Chili Bowl. So some landmark restaurants and stuff. So we've got a fun-filled time planned for you. If you do not want to take the bus, let us know because we can fly you in. Right. Okay, because we're a full-service travel agency, we can get all of that together for you. So we're hoping that everyone will come and bring us your business.
Exactly.
And we're very detail-oriented, so we try to get everything situated so all that customer has to do is get on the bus and enjoy themselves.
And we both know, ladies, all three of us know that good news travels fast and bad news travels even faster.
Yes,
right. So you definitely want to make sure that everybody has a great time. Because, I don't know, and I'm sure, like I said, with my real estate business, referral was my best.
Yes,
best way to keep it.
Yeah, exactly. Referrals on. So if I didn't mention it, on the Cedar Lake Winery trip, that has a cutoff date of the 23rd of April, and tickets are only $55 per person.
23rd of April of
23rd of July. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say you're doing another one in April. That's right before my birthday.
We'll probably do
23rd of July.
But that's we'll be looking at. We do things in the wineries. That's a whole different. That's one component. Okay, or one niche. We do the cruises. We do all inclusive packages. Right. When you call us, we have information. If you have questions, we have answers.
Exactly.
And also we want to let everyone know that's listening, all your listeners, if what we're trying to do is put a special package together. So we're giving away a gift certificate of $25 off of any of the trips that we manage. And also we're offering for the people who are part of your radio group, we're offering a half price for next year's dance event. So
and now which event is that?
That's for future events. So for future events. So Ferguson USA has their own VIP club. Okay. So when you're calling in and you're making your reservations or you got questions, be sure to remind us that you're a Ferguson USA listener.
There you go.
Okay, because
you hear that, guys?
It's not much, but it can help out a little.
Right, and I love that. So I'm gonna put that on here. So you call it the Ferguson USA.
It's the Ferguson USA VIP. I guess you could say travel club.
Travel club.
Right.
Because we talked about that. I was telling Renee that, like I said, I really didn't get a chance to start traveling until my son was grown and out of my house, and it was just me, and it was absolutely wonderful. But I didn't know a lot about traveling because like I said, my parents really did travel. When we traveled, it was road trips going down to New Orleans. Right. So one of the things that I like about the way that we're talking about the things that are coming up is that you can make time payments on your trip. So let's talk about that. This is why we want to get this information out here early so you guys can start planning.
Because when you're going on the internet, you have to click on that and pay for it right then and there.
Right.
When you use a travel agency, you are able to make a minimum deposit. Now, depending on the trip, depending on where you're going, depending on how soon you book it, it could be a $25 deposit, it could be a $50 deposit, it could be a $300 deposit, because on the Africa trip, it's going to take $300 for me to know that you're serious about going on that trip.
Right.
However, you have the option of working that into your budget.
Right.
So the same way that you're working in for your light bill, your gas bill, your vacation club, if you belong to the credit union, go to your credit union or go to your bank, start putting away for your vacation.
Right.
Americans do not take vacations. We are one country that is open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We're the most stressed out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The most sickly.
Yeah.
Okay, because we don't take advantage of downtime.
Right.
And downtime is important to your health.
Hello. It's so sad how a lot of these companies really stress these people into, they don't take their vacations, they won't take their lunch.
I had an uncle, and Uncle John worked for St. Louis City. He was there for over 45 years. They finally forced him into retirement. When he retired, he had almost like 25 years of unused vacation time.
Yeah.
Okay, because the man was a workaholic. Now, there's good to be, workaholics are good, they're good. Okay, because we can't do nothing without them.
Right.
But even they need a break sometimes.
Do you think that a lot of it is, especially for those that are older than us, that kind of went through the depression or came right out of the depression and knew what it was like not to have? So then they just started working and then they hoard it. They don't even spend it, they just hoard it.
Okay, and then something else with something else with the United States government. 65 was once the retirement age. The government is now actually wanting you to work until you're 75 years old.
With my age group is 72.
Okay, right. No.
Yes.
When are we gonna be able to get off the plantation? Come on, stop, y'all.
Well, I got off April of 2018.
Okay, then we're okay. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? And I miss it. And
no, not at all. I actually kind of hated it. I did this little part-time, but then I started getting kind of bored. But I'm only doing like 25 hours.
I don't get that bored. My business is my focus right now. And Sylvia and I have been working really well together. We're hoping that everyone will come to us and at least give us the opportunity to offer you our services.
Right.
We have the experience, the knowledge, we have the technology. We're looking forward to being the premier travel company in our community.
Absolutely.
Every other community has their own travel agencies. Drive up and down page.
Cardinal Travel. That's all I got to say. Don't we know working from travel agency?
Okay. Brentwood Travel.
Brentwood Travel.
Okay. Now, one thing that I will say about Brentwood Travel. Okay, I'm gonna give a shout out to Miss Ruth Lurie. Okay. Miss Lurie used to pull me back, and everybody hated to eat lunch for her because she always looked like she was a crabby person. And she would say, "Look, honey, you know, that old lady taught me everything I needed to know." And I would complain to my grandmother about sitting in the lunchroom, and I'd get trapped in there with Miss Ruth. And my grandmother told me, she said, "Shut up and listen." Okay, it is because of Miss Ruth that I'm now stepping out, okay, and realizing what we had. Marriage came in there and they wanted to buy Miss Ruth. Okay. Because they were traveling service before they were married. Right. Okay. All of the men kept telling Miss Ruth that she couldn't have that business. When everybody in St. Louis says Brentwood Travel, you know who I'm talking about, right? Okay, here we go. That's right. So thank you.
Don't tell me what I can't do.
Absolutely.
They give me all the incentive in the world to make sure I
I got to do it just because you told me I can't.
Now, talk to us about trip insurance. How important is that?
Extraordinarily important.
Okay.
It is an investment. It's an investment in yourself.
Okay. Talk to us about that.
Just like car insurance, homeowners insurance. You don't know when you're going to use it.
Absolutely, you never know. It's very important. It's an investment to your money. That this is hard-earned money that you earn, and you never know what can happen.
Right.
And it's really, and it's based on, I'm sorry, so, and it's based on what your package costs. So, trip insurance may only cost you $75 or $80, depending on what you're doing and where you're going. Okay. But a prime example is why you want to have it. We've got clients recently that are not going to be taking their trips because a family member got sick. Okay. My mom, one time, I insisted on her having trip insurance for her and my stepdad, and he had cancer. We were taking the trip insurance out because we thought he might get sick. Right. She walks out the front door and falls and breaks her shoulder the day before we leave. So trip insurance is worth every penny that you put into it.
Because do you find, I know when I worked at the airline, and like I said, I didn't really do a lot of personal travel before that. They would just kind of blow you off when you talk about travel insurance. You know, when you're making a reservation. Oh, you want travel insurance? Do I need it? No, not really, no. Okay.
Sometimes people don't want to pay that extra $70. They're kind of saving money.
Yeah.
But really, you're not. You never know what can happen.
Exactly.
You just don't know.
The other thing good about travel insurance, if you get stranded in another country, in some cases, it's up to $250,000 that's covered. If there's a medical emergency, if you can't get to the embassy, okay, if your flights need to be rerouted, okay, if travelers don't know how to go standby, and some airlines don't allow standby anymore.
So that travel insurance kicks in.
Travel insurance kicks in. It helps you with your baggage. Now, true enough, if you say that you got $5,000 worth of merchandise in that bag, not TW, but anyway, most American, they're not giving you that. They got a $350 maximum that they're going to pay, and anything that's lost actually ends up in the reselling shop. That lady that owns it down in Arkansas. There's a lady that, when your bags get lost at the airport, there's a lady that buys all lost baggage from the airlines in bulk, and she's got a reseller shop down in Arkansas.
Do you know I just saw something like that on Brunch TV?
Exactly.
And she had it in
all your stuff that you lost. They lost your baggage.
And she bids on it by the bulk.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so it all works around, but the travel insurance, you definitely want to have that.
Okay.
Because you don't know what could come up in the perfect world. You never have to use it, and it was just $75. Now, here's what happens. It depends on the package again. If you should happen to cancel your trip, and you got to go each individual vendor, every airline, every car company, every hotel package, whatever it is, they all have their own individual cancellation rules. So, and that's another thing about your travel agent, because your travel agent can tell you, hey, if you're going to cancel this, you need to do this 30 days before, 45 days before. There are all types of restrictions, okay? And your travel insurance also helps you with your penalty on your airline ticket, okay? Because you know that ticket's got to roll over, and that penalty is usually anywhere from $200 on a domestic to $400 on an international ticket before you make the change to it, and then they calculate what the difference is between the old fare and the new fare.
Wow. Okay.
So there's reasons why you want to travel.
Absolutely. And they can get the travel insurance through you guys, right?
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
great. All right. And I know we talked about this, and we're going to wrap this up real quick because I forgot I do actually have to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so if we wanted to go to Africa, we'll need a passport.
Yes.
And we'll also need a visa.
You're going to need a passport, you're going to need a visa, you're going to need shots for yellow fever.
Malaria
And malaria shots.
And it varies, yeah.
And it varies depending on the country. Okay, but when we make, you'll have all of that information before when you make your deposit. I'm going to tell you everything that you need to do. I'm going to tell you how to go through your passport processing.
Right.
Because we also handle that for you. Or have the capability of handling it for you. It's very simple and easy to do. But we're going to get, and here in the St. Louis area, it's not hard.
Right.
Okay, but we'll give you all of that information. Okay. And by the time we leave to go on the trip.
Right. Everything is done.
Right. 45 days before we leave out of the country, everything has been done.
I know that's right. I love that.
Right. So
because
that's
anything
we
can happen last minute. And,
right.
and we'll definitely be able to get the trip insurance for this.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. We're not taking it right. We got major companies that we go to for that.
Now, you guys heard me talking to my co-host Jason, Mr. Dirty. We have a show on Tuesdays now. We were talking about, when I was telling him about the trip to Africa, he was like, that sounds like something I want to do. I think this is something that we should be able to take the kids on too. Is that something that's doable?
It is something that's doable, but something I want parents to be aware of, because when you're taking children out of the country, now you're looking at a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Number one, they really don't want you taking a child out of the country that's under the age of 5.
Okay.
Well, from 5 on up, from 0 on up to 18.
Okay.
When you're taking a child out of the country, both parents must give consent.
Right.
Okay, and it has to be
in writing.
It has to be in writing to the State Department. Okay, now that to the State Department, when the State Department issues your passport. Okay, you can't have you got to have that in writing from both parents. You've got to show your divorce decree that says who's got custody of the children. Okay. Also, just so everyone knows, if you are a parent, and I am not directing this just to men, because women do it too. If you are a parent that is not paying child support, more than likely your passport may possibly be denied.
Whoa, I heard that.
Okay, and that's right, because don't just blame the men for this. This is not a man issue.
Right.
This is a parent issue.
Now, let me ask you a question. If I wanted to take my, who will be 11-year-old grandson,
You got to have written permission
from both parents.
Okay. Yeah.
And he'll need a passport and a visa.
He's going to need a passport and a visa.
And a malaria shot.
Right. All shots. The process is the same.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we're going to call that the Ferguson USA VIP African trip. We'll come up with a name for it.
We'll come up with a name for it.
Oh, okay.
Keep everybody informed.
Absolutely. Well, again, I think that this is going to be something great that's going to not only enhance Ferguson USA Hot Talk Radio, but also the Art of Travel Company. Because just think about it. We're going to be reaching out to all the different talk show hosts that are on here. You never know who they might know.
Now, so Africa is next year.
Africa's next year.
Okay. Also, we're going to be doing the lynching museums. We'll be doing the trip to Selma and to Birmingham.
I can't do that.
Okay. Well, you don't have to do that. So everybody else.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, share.
Okay. We're going to be doing that.
Okay.
Okay. If your group has an area that they want to go to, say, you're doing Vegas, or you want to do Amsterdam, you want to do China, call us.
Okay.
Okay. Let us look at putting a package together for you and your group. Okay. And depending on when you're going and how you're going, we're just here.
Absolutely. I actually mentioned to them, because they know I am. Oh, because you guys haven't seen my new book. And this is one of the reasons why I talked about it.
see my stuff. This is number 13, boo. I want you passing on over here.
Thank you. And this is why I said I had to go back to work, because he has a plan, right? But one of the things that I'm telling people, another thing that we've fallen back on is we don't know how to invest.
That's true.
And I'm telling you, that's what we call penny stocks right now. I have one for each of you if you want it. $10 a piece. Okay. But I'm telling you, I also, guess what a sister also invested in?
What's your name?
Cryptocurrency. Or Bitcoin, that most of people are aware of it by the term Bitcoin.
Right.
Bitcoin is like $6,000-$7,000 a coin. Now, let me share this with you. This is why I did this. When you go into that book, you'll see where I was actually, I've been looking into investing for years, but you know, when your money's kind of funny. But when Amazon came out, I mentioned in the book, the share stock was less than $10 a share.
Right.
And I said there, it's now like $1,000 for a share. Oh yeah, we missed out big time. But I just have to share with you what I missed out on Bitcoin. That's how come I jumped all over this. At the same time that I was looking into, as a matter of fact, when book one started, my first book came out in 2010. I was looking at Bitcoin because I was online with a lot of different types of people on my little chat rooms, and so I'm like, what is this? You know, and I was trying to understand it, but when it got to the point where, oh, you have to mine this with the machine, I'm like, okay, that's totally over my head.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think, okay, this is for the little 20-year-olds that know what they're doing. All right, so I just kind of forgot about it and went on and finished my books and started doing my investing in the cannabis stock. I get home right before Thanksgiving in 2017. Now, this was 2010. At the time, Bitcoin was 80 cents a coin. 80 cents a coin.
Right.
I could have, even if I didn't know what I was doing, I could have just bought $100 coins for $80. Am I right?
Right.
100 coins would have only cost me, and just set them aside. Because in 2017, right before Thanksgiving, Bitcoin hit $20,000 a coin.
Oh my.
Do you know what 20,000 times 100 is? That's $2 billion. Then I really wouldn't have had to be working a part-time job to go, you know, along with my Social Security. But this is the kind of money.
But these are the things that we have to learn.
We have to.
We have to learn how to, because one of the things that's in our community that we've consistently been told, you don't have enough money.
Thank you.
You don't have enough money. Now, I have a different philosophy on money. Okay, Victoria Falls is the largest waterfall in the world. It's where God lives at. It's where everything starts. Every tributary on this planet, eventually water has trickled down or come from Victoria Falls. So my theory on money is sometimes money is a tsunami. Sometimes money is a steady stream. Sometimes money is a drip.
Yeah.
Okay, but money never stops flowing.
That's why.
So one of the things that when we were at work, remember how you all used to always tease me about how the clients used to send me stuff? I used to ask them to bring me back $1 from whatever country they were in.
I remember.
Because I was having stress about money. Okay, now I stopped stressing about money because I got money in every country, even though it's just $1. Right. Okay, now back to our history. The puka shell, okay, which is the shell that's on my bracelet. Okay, the puka shell was the first currency that was ever used on planet Earth, and that came from us. We do not have money problems. Money is a tool, and we need to learn how to use it.
And because what we do with it now, $500 for some hair, for real? Seriously?
Stop. We better get on.
All right,
get back on track.
So, one of the reasons that I definitely wanted to talk about, like I said, the African trip, that is because we're getting ready to start taking our community out of its comfort zone. And if you don't want to go out of your comfort zone, you need to make sure that you unfriend me on Facebook. Because I mean, come on, guys. This is 2018. Might as well say 2019.
Well, speaking of Facebook, now we're on Facebook. Okay. So if you go to on Facebook, go to The Art of Travel, STL.com. Okay, and you'll see everything where they're on Facebook. The link takes you into the website. When you're onto the website, it shows you what we're doing and where we're going, and just give us a call.
Okay, great. Great. All right. Anything other that you might want to add before I let you guys go? Because this has been amazing.
I think we're good.
Think we're good?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we covered everything, right? Okay.
But we're looking forward to hearing from you if you want to do this winery trip that's coming up August 11th.
As soon as I get my schedule, I'll definitely check out and put that back to you.
Contact us.
Okay. Now, may I hold on to this?
Yes,
I
please.
actually want to just leave one of these into the studio.
Okay.
And you gave me, are these my handouts?
Right, those are your handouts. You got that.
I'm going to leave some of these.
Now, a couple more of the third one.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Okay.
And that way you got them. Anyone that had questions, please give us a call.
Your numbers are on here.
Our
And
numbers
again,
on
the
there.
best number to reach Renee or Sylvia, 1-844-200-5433. All right. Well, I want to thank you ladies for coming out and
No, we
taking
thank
time.
you. We thank you for the opportunity of coming.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Renee, when I thought about the trip to Africa, like I said, I started thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to get a travel agent to do this. I'm serious. So I'm like, okay. So I always just say, okay, who do you want me to call? And so, like I said, I went online and I found what I told you who I found, and I kind of contacted her, and she mentioned that she was going out of town.
I need to also thank all of our past co-workers.
Okay.
Okay, because every one of you guys have saw the confidence in Sylvia and I, okay, and have sent us referrals. So we thank you. We thank you.
Awesome.
We thank you very much.
Awesome.
We appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, again, like I said, our goal is just to make sure that we get to the next level in 2019. All right. Well, I'm getting ready to sign off. I think I've got a theme song. I just wanted to hear this new song here. So we'll go ahead and take it out from here. Thank you so much from Sunday Brunch with Lynda Brown. Yeah, if you could just keep it.